when you're in a relationship, the man that you're in a relationship should almost take on the roles that the father had when this woman was a child.
We really want to focus on more traditional values when it comes to choosing your partner.
The man is like the frame and the woman is the picture in the frame, and you're there to make her look beautiful and pretty and like flowy, and you're just there to basically protect the picture and lead her.
Yeah, there's one that will lead and there's one that will follow. So instead of saying submissive, let's say follow.
This is the Nico Lagan Show. Warning. This show contains explicit content. Listener discretion is advised. Real, raw, and shooting you straight. This is the Nico Lagan Show. And now your host, Nico.
Today, I want to ask you two questions. Should a woman stand by her man when shit hits the fan? And are women the gatekeeper to sex? As you can see, I have the pleasure. I don't know if it's the pleasure because I have to deal with her every day, but I have the pleasure of being with my distraught girlfriend that distressed. Hey, Josie, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. A little nervous because this is my second time here and second time ever doing this, so a little nervous.
And she's a bit nervous because she actually saw the videos. Like, we're going to post the first time we were together last week, and we're going to post it on the YouTube channel tomorrow. And I was showing her the video earlier, and she's like, what the hell is going on? It is strange for the people out there that's never done a podcast, that's never recorded themselves and put yourself out there. It is very, at the beginning, it's very, very strange. You need to get used to it.
Pictures of myself. This is very odd.
Yeah, well,
okay.
It is interesting indeed. Now, we got two questions. We got two questions that, first off, should a woman stand by her man when shit hits the fan? The reason I'm talking about this is that I've been following the case of Ash-Har, Ash-Har Makami. Am I butchering his name? Because I'm pretty sure it's Ash-Har. Yeah, Ash-Har Makami is a soccer player or a football player for our European friends that got divorced. His wife basically divorced him because there's allegations that came out that he would have raped or sexual assault. It's not very clear exactly what it is, but basically she decided to divorce him. I'm not even going to go into the details of how much of a gold digger she is by trying to steal all of his money, but the question being, should a woman stand by her man when shit hits the fan? Because she basically divorced him because she believes the victim. I was just reading an article this morning saying that the reason she's divorcing him is that she will believe victims. So she doesn't believe her boyfriend or husband, the father of her children, but she believes allegations. I'm not saying she's right. I'm not saying, no, hold on. Let me rephrase that. I am not saying that he did it. I'm not saying that he didn't either. We don't know. The jury's out. But she left him, divorced him, basically broke their family down because of allegation. What do you think about this?
My opinions on it, I mean, I think that if you're in a relationship, first and foremost, you should know the person that you're getting into a relationship with. So as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't assume that these allegations were right, because I would know my significant other better than this and believe that they wouldn't be capable of it. And if I did believe they would be capable of something like this, why would I be with them? Like that's just ridiculous. Like, wouldn't put myself in a situation in a relationship with somebody that I think or have that there's that possibility of him being capable of these things. So one, no. I wouldn't be with someone like that if I believed he was like that. And two, should she have stuck by him? Yeah, I think that these are allegations, these are assumptions right now. It's not proven. And he's definitely going through something. It's hard enough being a guy now with like money and like girls throwing themselves at you, and like you don't know if anyone's in it for real or if it's material things. So I just think that she should have stayed with him.
Especially, and I can speak from experience, I have met women personally, and I don't have 10, 20 millions in the bank like he does. I've had women in situation where I was worried that they would say something, like that they would accuse me of something.
Yeah.
Like, I've been worried. I remember one day there was this woman that I've met. I had seen her a few times. She was in my apartment, and it just went south. Like, we were both drinking.
Mm.
One of the many reasons why I don't drink anymore, but we were both drinking, and she got super emotional. She basically turned into a psycho. So I politely asked her to leave. I'm like, you know what? At this point, this is just not for me. I will please ask you to leave. And I started recording. I made sure that I had proof that she left my place safely, that she was
Yeah.
unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
I also made sure to call an Uber
For
on
her.
my cell phone to make sure that I have proof that she left my place and then she ended up at her place, because we are not protected by law when it comes to being a man. So a woman, again, I'm not saying that the woman that made those allegations is right or wrong. What I'm saying is that we should not be crucifying people on the public square just because somebody said something.
Yeah, innocence until proven guilty.
This is what the justice system in North America is based on. It is up to the accused, to the accuser, to prove without reasonable doubt that the other person did it. So technically, by the time when you enter the courtroom, you are innocent until proven
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah. I think that yeah, and to that point she should have stayed. Like you obviously took vows too, right? Like for better or for worse. I'm not sure
Yep.
what their vows were, but generally you're there for better or for worse. Clearly this is a worse situation.
It gets bad, yeah.
Yeah, it gets bad. Like, and then adding to his issues with this and these allegations, then you drop like this divorce on him. Now, this is what she's saying. Could they have had a history? Maybe it's been going bad. We don't know. But based on what, like,
those are her
this
words.
particular comment,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of shitty.
And you make a very valid point. Not only is he being accused of something that obviously he's saying that he didn't do, his wife divorced him, tries to go about like after half of his assets, and then takes it, and then who ends up with the kids? Like, she breaks the family over allegations. Now, was it just an excuse and she was unhappy and she's using this, or you know, one of the things that I believe happens quite often is the shame that comes with it. People are just like, oh, I don't want to appear like I'm with a fucking rapist.
Yeah.
So I will divorce him to save face. But anybody that's listened to this, put yourself in this situation. Imagine that you are innocent and that the law's on your side, as in innocent until proven guilty, but your significant other, if you're a woman, your husband, if you're a man, your wife decides to leave you for allegations. You're saying that you didn't do it, she leaves you. Like, how shitty. One, it's very shitty for the person that's being divorced over this, but we give so much power since that damn fucking Me Too movement. We give so much power to allegations, to just because technically, let's call a spade a spade. Allegations are just gossip at that point. They have not been proven to be right nor wrong, so they are gossip. But we give them so much power. And do you know that 99% of false claims go unpunished? So there's no consequences for a woman, like in this case. Let's say that she's lying. There's no consequences for her action, even if all she wanted to do is allegations. Because by what I was reading this morning, she only put allegations together. She did not put charges against him. She just went to the police to say that he did something. We don't know exactly what it is, but she didn't decide to press charges. So they're just allegations. So that could be somebody that's just trying to fuck with him. And again, I'm not saying that that's what she did, but I'm not saying that's not what she did either.
Yeah, there's so many ifs, ands, and buts. Like we don't know. It could have been this. It could have been that. But I agree with you. Like
It's easy.
it's easy.
It's very easy
to
for a
just say
woman.
something
Yep.
and then taken to another level and without proof and essentially ruining somebody's life.
Yeah, and we've seen it in sports many times. We've seen it with men in general. Once you're accused of something like that, it does not matter that you're proven innocent. You're fucked. This will be with you the rest of your life. The internet's not going away. You're not going to Google and other search engines and having you removed from publications online. So you're fucked. No matter if it's true or not,
It's still out there.
You're fucked. It's going to be out there.
It's still out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely screwed. So I knew your opinion, obviously. That's why we're talking about it today. But it is, what would you say to women out there that that believe that she did right?
That she did right by leaving?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think you clearly are in the relationship for the wrong reasons at that point if you're not going to believe what your partner is saying. And if they tell you no, then at least believe him. And then if things come out to be true, then figure out what your next steps are as a couple, like if it works out. But if it's just an allegation, I mean, you should trust your significant other if they tell you no, it's not true. I think it's on her part a little bit extreme, like her decisions in this situation, if they're just allegations, are a bit extreme in my opinion. Like I don't see why you would just leave, especially if you're marrying someone in the public eye. You know that there's women like throwing themselves at him.
He's a good looking.
He's a young guy.
He's a good looking guy. He makes money, and he's the equivalent of a rock star.
Yeah. So you're already putting yourself in a situation where these things might happen.
Yeah.
So kind of it comes with the territory. Like you either trust the person and believe that they wouldn't do these things.
But why would you be with that person in the first place if that simple allegation is just what it takes for you to have doubts? Your relationship is not holding on much.
No. And it kind of puts precedent on the next relationship too. Like, is this like for the next guy that is with this woman? Like, he has to be very careful with. First of all,
but he can be careful if he's another rock star, if he's an artist, if he's in the public eye. Allegations are made all the time. It's not anybody can press allegations against somebody whenever they feel like it. It doesn't take, and there's no consequences to their actions in 99% of the time. So yes, people can be vindictive. People can say things just because they can destroy somebody else's life.
But at the same time, I'm like, yes, it's the woman, but at the end of the day, a man too needs to kind of really be sure who he's marrying too. So like I feel like the woman shouldn't be doing this, but at the same time, like men should be kind of careful or choosy. And when they're picking somebody, like if shit hits the fan, are we really like, is this person really on my side?
This is why we're always talking about this. And this is why we're doing these podcasts, you and I, is we really want to focus on more traditional values when it comes to choosing your partner.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he's 24 and then she was 31 when they met. Like she was 31, he was 18.
She was there's like there's a gap. There's a gap.
And as per the statistics, it's less than 5% of women that will choose a man over 5 years they're younger than them.
Mm-hmm.
Only in 5% of cases. Me just seeing that, she saw potential in this man. No matter if it was to become a great man or if it was monetarily, whatever it was, she saw potential in him. But right then and there, that was a red flag to me. Because that's not what women normally do. Like in 95% of the case, that is not what women do.
Yeah. You generally date up in age.
Yeah, exactly. Normally it's almost 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Is the average. But yeah, just that is very strange. But I do believe he was naive and she had previous intentions.
He was 18 when
Oh.
they met, and they got married 2 years later.
And he comes from a Muslim country. He comes from more Muslim values.
I
No,
don't
he
know.
does.
I don't know his background.
No, I'm
I
telling
just
you.
know, yeah, the
No, I'm
story.
telling you, he's as far as I can tell, he's religious. He believes. So I think he had an understanding of what a woman should be, at least in his
Yeah.
eyes. But yeah, as we say all the time, it really always comes down to the value, and this is what we don't see anymore. People, I'll speak for men, but men choose with their penises. They see a woman that's hot, the hormones are going, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in love, bro." It's called lust. It's not love, it's lust. But they're in a situation where they choose with their penises instead
Mhm.
of looking at the woman for what she is. Does her value align with mine? How was her relationship with her father? Is she looking for a good man? Is she looking to be a boss bitch? Is she looking to be dominating in that relationship, or is she looking to be submissive? Because see, this is another term. Like, I'll ask you the question because this is a term that comes down all the time. And as a guy, I'm a man. I'm not.
You're a man.
No, but I'm not a half man. I'm not a effeminate man. I have a strong character. I'm very
Yes.
driven.
Yes.
I am more in a relationship, whatever it is, there's always somebody that's more submissive, and there's always somebody that's, I don't want to say aggressive. It's not the right word. I just can't fucking remember. I just can't think of the proper word
Like a
here.
leader.
Yeah, exactly. There's normally one that will lead more. There's one that will lead, and there's one that will follow. So instead of saying submissive, let's say follow. Do you think it's normal for a man to want to lead and for a woman to be more
Let's say follow.
follower
I
or
feel
more
like
submissive?
submissive is a better word than follow. Yeah, I think it's in our nature to in my nature to just be more submissive. I'm more feminine. I'm more like um trusting of you. I think that's what it comes down to too, that if you feel safe and you feel trusting of the person that you're with, you will naturally be more submissive and like, and submissive doesn't mean like you have to,
Yeah, you're
like,
not
we're not
cleaning.
bowing down to the person.
No,
You're not that
you're not
person's
washing my feet
slave.
when I
No,
walk in the
it's
place. Yeah.
just being like following you and being trusting of you and your decisions and being like, and not really questioning you. If you tell me like I have a feeling of ABC, I'm not going to be, well,
You're not debating. You're not
I'm not going to
debating my
debating and trying
instincts.
to change your
Yeah.
idea. Maybe question, and so that I understand you better. And
Yeah.
but I would never be like, no, we can't do that. And like, like I would trust your instincts. I would trust your lead. I would trust your, and
But
I
you
would,
expect me to lead, right? It's like choosing to go to the restaurant, for
yeah, I would,
example.
but
Is it not a turnoff for women to have a guy like, oh, would you like to do something on Thursday? Me.
no, I would want someone to take initiative and be like, this is
But
what we're
leading
doing.
is-
Get ready. I'll
but-
pick you up at like 9. Like that's attractive to someone.
But
It's-
initiative is
yes.
the same thing as leading.
Yes.
Like in this situation,
But
at
I
least.
like, and I can only compare it to, and it might sound weird, but like as a child, you want like your father. My father took the lead. My father
Yeah.
took like, and I'm assuming every father, if you had one in your life, and you're lucky to have one in your life, but was like the head.
Yeah.
Yes, my mother, women kind of.
Your mother has attitude.
gathered.
She's not letting herself see, and I think this is the misconception. I know your mother. She's not letting anybody step all over her.
No. But will she like submit to my father? I guess if they don't want to, like, if they don't want to go out, he's not wanting to go out. She's gonna be like, okay, let's not go out. She's not gonna be like fighting with him and
Yeah.
like questioning him and.
It's like, let me ask you this, because I was watching a video the other day, and the guy was kind of talking about exactly this with one of his guests, and she goes all over the place, and he just says, "Okay, stop for a second, like shut up for 1 second." She stops, and then she looks at him. She's like, "You know what? I respect what you just did." Because she realized that she was letting her emotion drive her, as a lot of women do. It's very feminine to let your emotions drive you, and she's going on a tangent that has nothing to do. So he's just like, "Hey, stop." And then he said something, and then the conversation continued. But she looked at him. She's like, "You know what you just there? I like that."
Yeah.
Because she realizes that she was going on a tangent.
Yeah.
And we do that all the time, but not all the time, but it has happened a few times
You
where
like stop the conversation.
we're just
kind of.
it's just so heated, and you just keep on piling. You're a woman, your emotions are going, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, Josie, stop.
Yeah.
And then we're capable of just dropping it from there, taking it down 10 notches, and just continue. No, but it's true, but
No,
continue
it's
the
the truth.
conversation.
Yes, you're taking control of the situation.
Okay, bring it down. Let's try to be a bit more logical about this than just letting our
But that's
fucking
what guys
emotions
do.
fly.
Guys
Yeah.
are more logical in
Yep.
in every aspect, if maybe not every aspect, but
But
majority of the
Oh.
aspects in their lives, they're more logical, where
Yeah.
most feminine women, or any men too, will lead with emotions, and I lead with emotion with you.
Yeah.
With you, and it's so weird.
No,
with,
but that's how it should be.
and no, but like, because when we started a relationship, I'm more vulnerable with you than anybody else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very different with everybody else. With
But-
you, it's so different. It's like
but this is
two
what
different people almost.
But this is what being submissive means.
Yeah,
Is that you're giving yourself, you're trusting me 100% that I will do the right
100%.
thing, and I will take care of you.
Yeah,
This
I
is
could be me.
see, and for the people listening out there, this is all it is. If you're a feminist right now listening to it, and your armpit hairs are fucking going
my
crazy, just know that this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's my slave. What I'm saying is that she expects to be led. She expects that I will take care of her. She expects that I will protect her. And because I'm providing that to her, it allows her to be in her feminine whenever she wants to.
Yeah.
She can be herself 100% of the time, because she knows I got her back.
Yeah.
I'm there to protect her. I'm there to take care of her.
It's so I saw a video, and this guy put it perfectly. Like, when you're in a relationship, the man that you're in a relationship should almost take on the roles that the father had when this woman was a child. He protected her, he fed her, like, he provided for her. Like, you're basically taking, so as a woman, I look those like values in my partner, because my father took care of me. I felt protective. Like, when he or my brother weren't around in the house, quite frankly, if I was at home alone, I didn't sleep well, because my father, like, I didn't
still don't.
and I still don't. Like,
I left. I came back yesterday. I was out in San Diego for a day to record for a client, and every time I leave, every time I'm not in the same bed as you, you tell me the same thing. I slept like shit because I'm just not there to protect you.
Yeah. It is what it is. And you know what? It's fine. Not every woman is like that, but I feel like I don't have to protect. I don't have to be that strong person anymore when I'm with you, because I know that, like,
I got you.
I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of all of my barriers, all of this, like, situational awareness. Like, yes, I'm there, but at the same time, I know
I'm there.
You're there. And this is where, like, I'm more submissive, because I'm letting you be the, I'm gonna say, dominant man that you are. You are more dominant than me. And I'm fine
dominant,
with that.
This is the term I was looking for earlier.
And I'm
really
fine
dominant.
with that. I'm totally fine with that. Why do I have to be like this? Like
a boss bitch.
Like, look, if you want to be a boss bitch, all the more power to you. But when you're in a relationship,
Men
you want to be a boss bitch.
Men don't like that.
If you want to be a boss bitch in a business aspect, don't bring that boss bitch home, because you're not going to be like,
your husband's not going to be happy.
Most men, and I don't know, maybe men out there like that.
I've never met one. I have not met.
Perfect,
I have not
fine.
met a masculine man that liked a boss bitch. I haven't met one in my life, and I'm 41 years old.
Well, then there you go. Like, I don't like that. I'm not a boss bitch. I obviously, like, but I prefer to be led, and not led to, like, I don't have my own choices. I don't have my own opinions. I don't have my, like, you don't respect me, and, like, in decision making.
Even business thing, I run it by you to make sure that it makes sense. Because if it makes sense to you, if it makes sense to me, and it makes sense to you,
we're good.
Yeah.
Are there things that,
because I don't need to explain myself to anybody else. No. I need to explain myself to myself and to you. That's it. I don't explain myself to anybody else outside of this.
Yeah.
It's
I think people just think it's like that word submissive and being feminine is
it's just it sounds aggressive. It sounds aggressive.
so negative, but it's not negative. as a woman, do you really want to be? And if you have to be, that's a different story. Having to be this like masculine, dominant person when, let's say, you're a single mother and you don't have a like, yes,
You have
fine,
to work. You have to do.
do
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
talking about those
No.
people.
No.
These are like outside of this conversation. We're talking about like man and woman, 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 whatever it is in a relationship, two people.
And see, I'm happy you're saying it that way, because this is it is really that simple. It's just there's such a misunderstanding out there to make it believe like men want to have slaves. This is I say it like this all the time, and I'm going to repeat it again. It's a man is a woman's rock, and a woman is a man's weakness.
Yeah.
I am here to be as unemotional as possible so that you get to be as emotional as you want to be in your feminine energy.
Yeah.
But since I'm supposed to be more tempered, I try not to show my emotions in public. I try to control them. But when I'm with you, you see who I am. You are my weakness because I show that to you. But outside of you and I want to be as tempered as possible. This is my job so that I can allow you to be as feminine as you want to be.
Every time like we talk about it, I always have a picture of my parents dancing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is going to make sense, but it makes sense to me. It's like my parents dancing is like the most, it's like the cutest thing I could have ever seen. My mom is like this small, like petite woman, and my dad's obviously taller than her. And every time they're dancing, he like basically he's leading her and he's just making her look as pretty as possible, and she's just there like looks like she's floating. And I feel like that's where a relationship should be, and I don't know if you can depict that. Like he's and a man in a as a dance partner is the lead, where the woman is just she's there to be feminine guided. And pretty and like 100%. She's like, and I think it was a movie that said like the man is the frame, and I think it was with Richard Gere and Jennifer Lopez. I forget the name of the movie, but they it described it perfectly. The man is like the frame and the woman is the picture in the frame, and you're there to make her look beautiful and pretty and like flowy, and you're just there to basically protect the picture and lead her.
Yeah. And at the same time, if you allow a man to be masculine, to be what his nature intended to be, you will free him. You will allow him to be just himself. You'll allow him to be happy.
Yeah.
In the same way where if you're a woman that is allowed to be feminine instead of being the boss bitch, instead of relying on her masculine energy all the time, you will allow her to be her true self. You will allow her to live her nature.
Yeah.
And it goes with the saying, when a man buys a house, a man gives a woman a house, a woman makes it a home. A man gives a woman food, she makes it a meal. It's always like that. We
make things better.
No, but I agree. We take something that's logical, like a house, and you make it emotional by turning it into a home.
Yeah.
It's by adding, you're not redoing the whole house. You're just adding some spice here. You're just putting love. You love that house.
Yeah.
And you make it a representation of you, your family, and your relationship with your husband. We just got the house. In the same way as food. We bought the food for you to make food. We bought the ingredients, you made the meal.
Oh my God, I feel like people are going to take this out of context and be like, I could buy my own food. I can buy it's like, that's not what we're saying. Like, get out of your head.
No, but they're not wrong.
No, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong, but instead of saying that you're ever so perfect alone,
you're not.
No, you are. You know what? I do not need to be in a relationship. But if I choose to be, I will be with somebody where I can be myself and allowing her to be herself. And when I'm saying I buy the food, I am the provider. I am the protector.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm buying that food as in, this is what we will use to replenish our body. You know how I am. I will cook something with salt and pepper and I'm done. I'm very, very happy with this. This goes well with my diet. but you always love to cook. You always make it into
Like
something.
extra.
No, but with love. I'm logical. I look at it. I'm like, this is food. This is nutrients. My body needs
No,
gas. Here's my food. I'll make it. I make very good food. You know this, but I will just
I make it better.
But this is what a woman. But
No.
this is what a woman does. If you
Yeah.
allow her to be feminine, she will put a spice to everything.
Agreed. I don't disagree with that. I agree with it wholeheartedly.
Oh, I know you do. We wouldn't be together if you didn't. But I'm mostly explaining it to the people out there so that they can understand it. Hopefully, we've been going on for half an hour now. So hopefully what we're talking about makes sense. I really want to know what your opinions are on should a woman stand by her man, and not just married, but in a relationship too. If you're with someone, should you stand by them when shit hits the fan? And yeah, let me know. Leave me a comment below. I want to know your opinion. On that note, I want to thank you. I'm very grateful for every single one of you out there that is listening, that is watching. I'm very grateful because without you guys, we are nothing. And on that note, I want you to remember that the world is changed one man at a time, and one man has the power to change the world. On that note, peace.
You've been listening to the Nico Lagan Show. Nico has been involved in the martial arts for 20 years. He's a Muay Thai coach, focus coach, podcaster, and sought-after public speaker. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've gotten some useful and practical information. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Coach Nico Lagan and on YouTube at The Nico Lagan Show. See you next time.